Okay, what is up, guys? It is Flexpoint. We are going to do a commentary. It's been a while, but excuse me. OP.gg has been down for a little bit, or replay.gg, so it's been kind of hard to get some replays. But we got one now, which is great. I'll lower this down. Alright, so we have a Fiora versus Shyvanna. Now, at first sight, I see the Shyvanna who has Ignite TP, which is cheese, like really cheese. So I actually told this Lee Sin, hey, we should camp this Shyvanna. I suggest you do the same. If you're ever against anybody that does not have flash in the top lane, you need to tell your jungler to camp them pre-6. Because granted, you know, someone like Renekton or Jax has a reliable dash, but Shyvanna, on the other hand, doesn't really have anything until level 6. And if you think about it, Shyvanna does have an escape level 6, but it's very valuable in a team fight.
Minions have spawned.
So some of the rules for using Fiora, or guidelines more or less, is to always try and proc the passive, which is Vitals. Of course, it deals some nice true damage. But, I mean, regardless, I mean, using your Q to harass him isn't a big deal. I am taking Bandit in my masteries, so every time I Q her, I get 10 gold. Now, this is a very unfavorable trade. I tried to proc the Vital there, but I lost vision, so it's incredibly unfavorable to me. But that's what I get for not warding the bush. If I would have warded the bush, I would have clearly been able to proc the true damage. But again, I'm still queuing her. I had a bad trade, but it's fine. We both only have one pod. I have flash and she doesn't, so I actually don't mind playing a little careless. That's not the correct word, but I'm gonna use it anyway. So yeah, Bandit basically gives you 10 gold whenever you auto attack an enemy champion. Fiora's Q counts as that, so whenever you Q someone, you get 10 gold. Oh, she just crit right there. Just trying to auto attack multiple times. Like I'm not trying to last it here. I'm just trying to auto attack so I can get some lifesteal for my Doran's blade. It's only like 3 HP per auto, but that's perfectly fine for me. Again, just focusing on the vitals. You have to keep in mind though, whenever you use your vitals, whenever you use your Q on an enemy champion, you do draw minion aggro. So do not forget that. Really important. Because you will take damage from minions after you Q an enemy champion. So usually after you Q an enemy champion, the goal is to kind of run into a bush. So I'm chucked her down pretty low here. My goal now is to just proc it one more time and then I'll enter with the ignite. Again, got a free poke down. Your Q outranges any melee, so really easy there. Someone asked me not to fast forward through fights, so I'm gonna try that out. I'm not gonna fast forward. I'll fast forward like now, but I won't fast forward during fights. But again, I used my Q. I didn't even proc the Vital, but it was okay because I did parry her Q, which deals double damage. So that's how I was able to win that trade there. Alright, we'll go to fast forward. Like I said, we both have Ignite, so luckily I came out on top there. Viable summoners for Fiora are Flash Ignite, Flash Teleport, Exhaust Teleport, Exhaust Ignite, and Flash Exhaust. I say this because, and it sounds cheese not taking Flash on someone like Fiora, but if you think about it, her Q, once it hits max CDR, is like 2-second cooldown, or 1.5-second cooldown, somewhere along those lines, so. Is that the game you played in the morning? It was yesterday, it was the one you asked me to play. I'm just like trying to explain it further. So this was really unfavorable for me because she had Ignite and I didn't. So there was actually no reason for me to fight that at all. But plain and simple, she had Ignite and I didn't. So I should have known better and I should have avoided it. like if you at any moment, unless you have a very clear advantage, which I did not have. If you ever fight somebody and they have ignite advantage over you, you need to walk away. But again, I figured, you know what, I have my Tiamat, I'm gonna try and outplay her. Um, but it didn't work out. So if your opponent has ignite and you do not, play kind of safe, you know. But again, lesson learned. But the good thing that came out of there is you need to remember cooldowns. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mouse over it so we can see. The cooldown for ignite is 2 minutes or 210 seconds, which I think is like 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 3.5 minutes. So procking a vital there. So really, whenever you get ignited, just mark it down on your chat, 3.5 minutes. So you could put like Shiv I for Shiv Ignite and then time it from there. But I do know for a fact that I will have Ignite advantage over her. Now she's level 6 and I'm level 5. I kind of want to avoid fighting her, but like I said, I do have my Q and I do have the bush there, so I just Q'd her and then walked into the bush. Now she did kill me, but in no way does that like keep me from harassing her, you know what I mean? Like I killed her as well, so I'm not like nervous in the lane, I'm not worried. I knew the Udyr was there, so just trying to Q her. Tanking tower shots not the best thing, but I had some pots there, so that was good. But again, just trying to lifesteal. I have a Doran's Blade, so I'm trying to use it, and I'm trying to poke her when I can. I didn't get the kill there. But as soon as she ultied away, it was honestly a waste of like resources for me to try and fight her. It was extremely reckless for me to dive. Like as soon as she popped her ulti, that should be enough for me. And that should be enough for you, because you do force her to recall. There's no need to flash. I mean, you force her back. She doesn't have teleport. So you basically get free farm. You know, so I just got incredibly greedy, impatient, because she had just killed me. So I was like, okay, she just killed me and I want to kill her. That's basically what that was. But if I had remained calm and kept my cool, then as soon as she ultied away, I would have been perfectly fine. Alright, so regardless, I used my flash, I used my ignite, so now she will have ignite advantage soon. Go for the Vamp Scepter next, because I do really like sustain. That's one of the main ways I can actually beat the Shyvanna, is by out-sustaining her in trades. Poke her down with Q, and just like auto attack back. Auto attack to come back. Made her take some good damage there. The combo for Fiora is to proc someone's vital and then ulti them, because the goal is to get 5 vitals, 6 if you're really good. Your ulti gives you 4, so that's like probably the biggest thing I could tell you. Two of the biggest things I can tell you is to like harass and lane with your Q, because you do outrange them, and to make sure you proc your vitals accordingly. So I knew she was roaming. I knew she went for scuttles because I was shoving her in pretty hard. And once I saw her mid, I was like, okay, that's really good for me. Now I get to shove this. And that turret loved me. Turrets, I hate turrets. They always hit me when I shouldn't. That was like the one scenario where they don't. Flex is streaming, my life is complete. Well, Luna is watching me, so my life is complete. There you go, just trying to proc the true damage. Yeah, she's in a pretty bad spot here. Notice I proc 2 vitals already, so ideally I would have wanted to ulti there. But I didn't have summoners, I knew she had her ultimate. So, yeah, there's really no reason to become impatient. Especially when I know that I could beat her. Just gonna sustain back up. I knew I could beat her in a 1v1, so I went ahead and just got this and ignored everything. Proc the true damage. Parried the Q. She didn't have a chance. Like, I just had like an absurd amount of damage, and anybody that's half HP cannot fight Fiora with her ultimate. Like, they just can't. Like, mathematically, they cannot. You know, it's not even a fact of, oh, I can outplay it. Well, I mean, you can, but like from a mathematical standpoint, if you proc your ulti, you kill anybody at 50% HP. You know, if you hit all 4 vitals. So that's why I didn't even hesitate to take that pink word. Hey, Courtney. Nice, so nothing happens here. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward. Finish my Ravenous, and I see her build, and I'm like, okay, she's going Guinsoo, which means I'm gonna win. Just gonna farm, do my thing. I'm zoning her out because she knows she can't beat me. I do have my summoners, so she knew like, okay, I wasted my ignite there, and Fiora didn't ignite me, so her ignite's gonna be up, which is why she played really far back. But I'm just farming. I'm doing really well. If you look at this just from stats alone, I'm 2-1. She's 1-2. She's only down 10 farm. It doesn't really look that bad, but Shyvanna knows with that build that she's going, it's pretty bad for her. Like, she's not tanky at all. She doesn't really deal that much damage, so she's in quite a pickle. Yeah, I think okay. She went to go ward. I figured she would go take jungle camps, but look at this tower, it just loved me. Alright, so I wasted my W there, and I think Shyvanna saw it, because as soon as she saw me, she went in. Regardless, though, she didn't really have a chance. Just popped the ignite. I think I only proc like 1 vital there, too. I proc 2 vitals, so, like, yeah.
You have already lost.
She disrespected me, so I disrespected her back. You don't BM me, I'll BM you back. It's like eye for an eye, you know? That's a good song, by the way. So, just taking the tower, doing my thing. I didn't kill the tower, I didn't try to kill the tower by using my E because I'd rather proxy farm. Man, I almost make a sick getaway here, but Udyr has Moby boots, and that sucks. So my mentality here, I like how he stayed behind this bush because he knew this was warded. That was actually really well played. So the goal here was to keep her back from the minions. As soon as I saw Udyr just Q over, he flashed, but I parried that, flashed over the wall, Q'd over, and here I am thinking I'm safe. I should have ran to get the bonus movement speed because here comes Udyr with his Moby boots. Tried and juked him there, but didn't really work. My W was on cooldown, so I couldn't do anything. Stupid Moby boots Udyr though. So annoying. Like if it was any other boots I get away, but it was Moby boots and he gets like the ridiculous bonus movement speed. So but the idea there was to proxy or to zone her out from an entire minion wave. Because in a 1v1, she couldn't get past me unless she had jungle help. Alright, so next thing I'm going is Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver, another essential item on Fiora, mostly because he gives you some HP, gives you CDR, gives you armor pen, armor shred, it gives you quite a bit, and it's a really good item. Overall item for any auto attack based melee. Or, yeah, auto attack based melee, yeah. Or even caster. Yeah, real easy from there. She had like no chance to 1v1 me, and she doesn't. Like, Fiora really thrives against these Guinsoo Blade champions. Because it's like, think about it. Let's go Jax, Aurelia, Shyvanna apparently, since that's a thing. What do these champions all have in common when they rush Guinsoo? They're squishy. They're all squishy. Jax is squishy, Fiora's squishy. Do they have mechanics to work around their squishiness? Of course. Jax has his dodge and his gap closers. Fiora or Aurelia has the same thing, and his stun, respectively. So they definitely have things in their kit to help them, but it's not enough. It simply isn't enough, especially for someone like Fiora. Like, oh, Jax, you want to try and stun me? Cool, I'll parry it. Or same thing with Aurelia. Like, oh, you want to E me? I'll parry. So, what happens? Jax goes Guinsoo into Gunblade. Good sustain, very squishy. Aurelia goes Gunblade into Triforce. A little tankier, but still overall pretty squishy. So Fiora does relatively well against these Guinsoo Blade champions, and Shyvanna kind of proved that. Yeah, she knows she can't find me. She's pretty helpless at this point. I think even if like Udyr comes, I can 2v1. I don't 2v1 here coming up, but I do like 4v1 or something, and I die miserably. I die miserably. Here they come. Oh, they see me on a ward. Yep, that was fun. Not much you can do there. When you get a jump like that, I mean, your best bet is to try and kill somebody.
Rampage.
I went for CDR boots here, mostly so I can get the bonus movement speed and get the... It got me to 25% CDR, but I actually got it for the summoner spell reduction for Flash and Ignite, since that does that now, which is pretty cool. So I'm going top lane. People will tell me, will like ask me, like you always go top lane when you should be grouping. Like someone telling me, like, oh, you should be grouping. That kind of varies from game to game. Like it would have been more beneficial to me here to farm up to finish my Black Cleaver. If you ever need to finish like an item, I highly suggest you just farm it up. Honestly, like yeah, you can get it from kills also, but I mean it's not the same. So I see Shyvanna rotating from a ward, so I go ahead and try and cut her off, and I'm able to. Goodbye.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I wanted to rotate bot, but when I saw that they were actually, like, they had already killed everything, they were taking everything, I was like, oh, I guess I'll go mid then.
You. I hate to kill you.
I don't mind the dive here because we do have an Echo, and he is pretty fed, so... There you go. I have to flash that, or else rip. And I wanted to take a magical journey, so... I actually wanted to take 2 magical journeys, so I took this magical journey. And there's Udyr. Oops. I mean, it was fun, but yeah, probably not the best idea. Oops. Alright, Black Cleaver is finished, and I am in pretty good standing right now with the build. I go ahead and get a chain vest because I'm gonna go GA next. Now, questionable, but the more you think about it, like, okay, Fiora already has enough damage. I have enough damage to solo anybody, you know. So my next priority should be trying to stay alive through these fights, which is exactly what I thought of by going GA next. Just going in for a poke. That's it. Just going into harass, try and chunk her down before I dive her. Just a dive. And that's it. Like, you sure I could have probably just all in her, but like these things take, you have to be patient, you know, like, okay, am I gonna all in her, or am I gonna poke her down first a little bit, get her to about 70% HP, then use my sheer damage percent health based ultimate? Or should I do, what's better? Do I do it at 100? Do I do it at 70? You know what I mean? Like, you just kind of you have to be patient, especially when you use someone like Fiora, because I mean, it's so easy to think, oh man, I'm just gonna all in her and kill her because I'm Fiora. It doesn't really work like that, you know? Like, it does if you're really fed, but I mean, it was my priority there to, it was in my best interest to poke her down and then all in case someone else comes by, you know?
Blue team's turret has been destroyed. Red team has slain the dragon. Shut down.
Finish the GA, and
Dominating.
I think the game ends before I get my next item, but my next item is going to be Dead Man's Plate. Dead Man's Plate because it gives me movement speed, which is very important, and it has a nice little passive. So I come in for the flank here, rather than just running up in the front, and it does pretty well there. I missed my Q, but that's okay, because I parry the Shyvanna Q, proc the ultimate, so me and Lee Sin can heal, there's the double kill, and Bard decides to take a magical journey.
Red team's turret.
Man, that's done less forever. Man, that thing lasts forever. Excuse me. So, I mean, good team fight. Like I said, again, I went for the flank that time, rather than just running up front. I think Twitch was on the bot, or Gordon was in the bot lane just farming, so I was hoping he would flank with me, but, you know, he's Diamond 3, so he's too good for that. Kappa. That's so lame. Good stun, ulti. Ulti Bard, got the heal. That's the most important thing, you know, like, the most important thing to do is Fiora is to proc your ulti, because you really need to get the heals. Here comes the Twitch god. Is that him? Is that double lift? He thinks he's so cool with medieval Twitch. I'm not that cool. I don't have that skin.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed. Blue team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
So, next item, Dead Man's Plate. I get the Giant Spell first because I already have armor and MR from GA, so the HP is actually, I value the HP a lot higher. And any item that's like tankiness, unless I'm Malphite, I always value the HP a lot higher. That's why if I ever go Randuin's, Dead Man's, I always get the Giant Spell first. Spear Visage, oh, that's pretty even actually. Look at Connor trying to take my kill. Yeah, he didn't have a chance at all. And he's full damage too. Like, he's Triforce, Guinsoo Blade, sated. But this is what I mean about those people that go sated. I mean, that go Triforce, Guinsoo Blade. He has a stun similar to Aurelia. He had the same items. I mean, it's basically the same scenario, you know? Like, you parry the stun and it's easy pickings from there, you know? And there's the forfeit. So 29-minute game, 215 farm, not the best. Could be a lot better. But like I said, as soon as I finished Black Cleaver, I kind of stopped going top lane to farm. I kind of started grouping. I went for the flank, and then I went mid and stuff like that. So, I mean, the farm could be worked on. You know, I mean, nobody on their team had 200 plus. So, I mean, in the scenario, it was okay. Again, as for Fiora, the most important things, two of them, is one, poke down before you all in. Try and proc a few vitals. And two, another one of the most important things, actually there are three important things. The second important thing is in the lane phase, try and proc a vital before all in, like before using your ulti. So instead of getting just the 4 vitals from your ultimate, you get 5, which is really, really good. The last and final important aspect of Fiora is her ultimate. You need to get that ulti popped in team fights. You need to. It is so vital. That's ironic. Vital. It is extremely vital to proc during team fights. Healed for 100, 240 damage each second for 5 seconds. That's a lot of HP. That's 1,000 HP. Okay, it's 240 times 5. That's over 1,000 HP. You need to proc your ulti. Even if it doesn't even need to be on the tank. It would be in the best interest of the team fight to proc it on the tank and kill the tank. But you can't downplay the fact that it can heal all of your teammates for 1k. Okay, so make sure you proc that ulti. Okay, this was my Fiora versus Shyvanna gameplay. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I'll happily answer them for you. And good luck. Fiora is not going to be changed in the future. Actually, that's a lie. And this is pretty important. I'm going to say this in most videos that I use fervor of battle. It's going to be changed so that it only procs off of enemy champions, which is very, very bad for lane phase. So I'm going to actually swap over to probably Grasp of the Undying or Thunderlord's Decree. Probably going to use Grasp of the Undying because it works really well with her sustain. I think most top laners are actually going to start switching over to Grasp of the Undying. It works really well on champions like Darius, Fiora. I don't want to say Jax. I think Thunderlords is better on Jax for the burst. But I mean, Fiora, it's probably going to be good. Aurelia, it's going to be good. Darius, it's going to be good. Renekton, it's going to be good. So, if you want, and I would suggest this, and I'm going to do it also, I would start working with Grasp of the Undying Mastery rather than Fervor of Battle, just to practice for it, because that's what we're going to probably be doing in the future. Okay guys, thank you for watching, and good luck.